Hello there. Wait a second. Someone's losing their eyelashes. You know when you're on the end of a night out and your mate's got her fake lashes just falling out and you're like, oh babes, let's get you home. There we go, all fixed. Happy end of Women's History Month. Girlgate boss gas keep light. Oh, and let me introduce myself. My name is Tara Mooney and this is the only channel on YouTube where all videos are written and produced by a cow. She couldn't be in the video today because she's actually bleaching all of the spots on her body and that's a whole day appointment, but if you like and subscribe, she might appear in the next one. This is going to be another one of those videos. I love how half her videos are basically like, this feels kind of wrong, you know, while she semi-closes her eyes. They're not wrong. So if you've been around here before, you will know that I have a bit of a bone to pick with capitalism. And I'm also not a huge fan of girl boss feminism. So imagine a cocktail of the two. That is girl boss advertising, femvertising, empowertising. Women being present equals feminism. So buy our Speaking of buying I'm gonna sell you some stuff now. Oh boy, I've really set myself up to getting roasted in the comments today. I'm really happy to be working with Intermina today, and I am wearing my go-to period look. It's even got a tail. I've really set myself up for some weird jokes in the comments, but so yeah, I just wanted to be nice and comfortable because I want to talk about a brand that makes me feel nice and comfortable. So Intermina is a Swedish brand that offers a comprehensive collection of products and information for every stage of life, you know, from your first menstruation all the way to menopause and post-menopause. So they very kindly sent me their Lily cup, which, let me get it out of my little case. I keep it in here so I don't lose it. So this is it here. You can use it for up to 8 hours, and because it's made of silicone, you can wash it and reuse it. So it's a more eco-friendly option. I also like this sort of non-leakage spillage ridge it has at the top. So, you know, it just makes me feel extra secure. So I have the size A because that is the option that's aimed at people who haven't given birth before, and or don't have, you know, an especially heavy flow. And what I love about this is that it's really accessible for people who aren't very used to using menstrual cups. Honestly, I've tried menstrual cups before and I haven't gotten on very well with them up till this point because I've not found them very comfortable. Either they were too big or I didn't feel like they stayed in. In fact, growing up, I was really never a fan of tampons, but weirdly at my school, there was this huge stigma around using pads, which is silly because you should use whatever period product makes you feel most comfortable. And I love that Intermina are all about removing period stigma because it is nothing to be ashamed of. And you can't make me ashamed. And it's worth noting that they have different period products for different types of flow. So if you've got a heavier set flow, the size B will work great for you, or one of their many other awesome products they've got on offer. Click on the link in the bio for the Lily Cup by Intermina. Thank you, Intermina, for sponsoring. Tiffany Ferg did a great video on the topic of girl boss. Holy moly, it's snowing. Sorry. Yeah, so Tiffany did a video on girl boss advertising and empowerment marketing a few years ago, and it's great, so go watch that. But also, please watch mine too. You've got a free evening, you can watch both. But yeah, consider this video a more up-to-date version because there's been some bangers in the past couple of years. I mean, oh, some of them are just too good. Women belong in the kitchen. 1 year ago, Burger King UK, I love how it was the UK division. Can we just take a moment to appreciate that? Tweeted, women belong in the kitchen. Followed by, if they want to, of course, yet only 20% of chefs are women. We're on a mission to change the gender ratio in the restaurant industry by empowering female employees with the opportunity to pursue a culinary career. And, it backfired. So, they then tweeted an apology. We hear you. We got our initial tweet wrong, and we're sorry. Our aim aim was to draw attention to the fact that only 20% of professional chefs in the UK kitchens are women, and to help change that by awarding culinary scholarships. We will do better next time. We decided to delete the original tweet after our apology. It was brought to our attention that there were abusive comments in the thread, and we don't want to leave the space open for that. Amazing! When I saw this, I was thrilled because it's absolutely hilarious. It's so funny. It's a gorgeous example of how corporations just don't know how to human. But then I found out that them tweeting one of the oldest sexist jokes in the book actually led to abusive comments from people who unironically believe women belong in the kitchen. A streamer named Becca Beckery highlighted that their choice to isolate the joke was to pull people in, either to outrage them or entice them because they're also sexist. Proof this could have even fit in one tweet. Please don't use sexism as clickbait. The men in my mentions proves the damage you're causing by doing this. Combating sexism with sexism. Big brain stuff right there. Ironic misogyny. I would like to think that if this were about the gays or a racial minority, they wouldn't. No, they would, wouldn't they? They would, let's be honest. If you're eating a taco right now, drop it!
So I'm gonna hold on promoting you this quarter. Cool?
Drop the taco.
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 Don't tell a lady to drop her pants, but do tell her to drop her taco.
So if this Nissan Sentra isn't gonna compromise, why should you? You're right. That a girl.
This one's self-explanatory. I don't have much profound commentary to make on this particular advert, except
Drop the taco.
That a girl.
add a girl. Vroom vroom like a girl. Step that cussy up. Oh, you've caught me in one of those moods. The next real example that caused a stir in 2019 was from a website called People Per Hour, which is basically like Fiverr, and they came up with this gem. You do the girl boss thing, we'll do the SEO thing. Because, fun fact, women don't do SEO. Not one. There's not one woman on this earth that works in SEO. I know. Wild, right? It's 2022. Another fun fact, I very briefly had a job in SEO and I was terrible at it. Not because I'm a woman, but because I was horribly underqualified for it. And I'm just bad at things like that, you know? Hey, People Per Hour, would you mind explaining what this ad is trying to say? As it sounds very patronizing and sexist. Surely someone checked this ad before going out? 1. Girl boss. We don't say boy boss. 2. We do the SEO thing. Sounds like, don't you worry your pretty little head with techie stuff. And the winner for the most patronizing hashtag advert on the tube today goes to People Per Hour. Much better copy would have been, you be the CEO, we'll do the SEO. Wanna know what their response was? Yup, we messed up. Thank you for your honest feedback. We're really sorry for any offense caused and regret this misguided placement. It's our mission to celebrate the skills of everyone, not discriminate. This ad is currently in the process of being removed. Next time I do a sexism, I'll just use this emoji. Also the yup. That's even worse than what YouTubers do in their apologies. Influencers don't even use that emoji in their apologies. Yup. I pretended my girlfriend died in a car crash for views. But it's not only that this caused anger on Twitter, it actually got flagged by the Advertising Standards Authority. There were 19 complaints, which aren't that many, but it still had an impact. People Per Hour and their agency said they had not considered that the pairing of the term girl boss with the word thing could come across as patronizing and reductive. They acknowledged that the execution might unintentionally come across as sexist and demeaning to women. Global said that at the point of review, their ad copy team did not feel that the ad was likely to cause offense. And the complaints were upheld. The ASA decided that the ad violated CAP. Advertisements must not include gender stereotypes that are likely to cause harm or serious or widespread offense. And on the ASA website, they break down and analyze exactly how the ad is sexist and reinforces gender stereotypes to this great extent. If you fancy reading that in full, article, I'll link it in the description. However, for the reasons given, we concluded that the ad had the effect of reinforcing harmful gender stereotypes, and that it breached the code. The ad breached CAP Code Edition 12 Rule 4.9, Harm and Offence. The ad must not appear again in the form complained about. We told people per hour limited to ensure their advertising did not perpetuate gender stereotypes in a harmful way. Oh my god. Bestie, that flopped. Now, I've been doing this for long enough to know what the men in the comments are going to say. It's not a big deal. Take a joke, love. Brit bong gap tooth. People are dying, Kim. Well, they wouldn't use that reference specifically, but they would say something of the sentiment that, oh, feminists are caring about silly things when there's more important things. And here's the thing. On an individual level, do these adverts offend me? No, not at all. In fact, I find them hilarious. I want the Burger King one framed and put on my wall. However, I do think the people who complained were well within their rights, and they were driven by the knowledge that advertisements have immense power in shaping social perceptions and attitudes. Each one of these on their own might not have a huge impact, but each one we let slip through the cracks creates a general landscape of shittery. So what's the takeaway after this quickie little vid? Firstly, that the word empowerment has become devoid of meaning at this point. We're more focused on making women feel empowered than we are on giving them power. Also, the sad truth is that even with good feminist advertising, ultimately, feminist adverts are still adverts. The goal, first and foremost, is to sell you something. That being said, I'm aware that we live in a society and advertising exists in the world that we live in. So with that in mind, I think that the biggest issue is that corporations are profiting off the manipulation of feminism without doing any feminism. It's also really gross how brands have cottoned on to the fact that, you know, as women, we're not buying the whole unattainable beauty standards thing. They've realized that actually making us feel good about ourselves is what sells at the moment. Self-care, self-love, all that malarkey. Feminist advertising wouldn't be so inflammatory if these corporations actually advocated for changes in public policy, assessed their own supply chains, and honestly assessed what their product does to bring power to women, or even just utility. We get sold some of the most useless shit. I don't need a butt mask, thank you very much. No matter how or where brands stick feminist language on their products, it won't change the fact that you can't wear feminism or snack on it. It requires as many of us as possible doing work in service of equality. Ooh! I couldn't have said it better myself. Amazing. Okay, that is all for today. Thank you so much for watching. I know this was a short but sweet one. A lot of the ones lately have been because I've got big boys in the work and they just take a long time to research. But yeah, I would love to hear your thoughts on the whole phenomenon of femvertising and if you think it can ever be done well and whether you've been sold something under the guise of feminism, because I sure as hell am, regularly. I'm not above it. And I think most of us aren't, right? We like to think that we're smarter than everyone else and we're like, I don't fall for marketing. No, we do. We all do. It's just a specific type of marketing that appeals to you that you fall for.
Hello, my lovely subscriptions. I am not going to forget the subscription pet shout out this time. So, here it is. This time we've got a gorgeous bunny called Nimbus, but before I get into that, I would like to share that the owner made this gorgeous fan art. How cute is that? Make sure to go show them some love. They're extremely talented and they've got a beautiful bunny called Nimbus. They said, he's adorable, but he's actually an evil goblin in disguise. He likes to watch us in the garden from his plant pot lighthouse, and he gets angry when we plant things in his garden. Even though he's stubborn and actively tries to trip us up, he loves cuddles. Unfortunately, he gets startled easily because he's deaf, but he's living his best life, hee hee. Look at little Nimbus, what a cutie. Look at that little guy. Make sure to give him a round of applause.
Well, thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, make sure to give it a like, because one like equals one. Oh, it equals one taco, because you keep dropping your bloody tacos, ladies. Not being sexist, but what is it with you girls dropping your tacos? Thank you and good day. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.